Chapter 24. Third-person POV. Drake rushed to his office as soon as he reached his house, oblivious that a certain alpha was inside. Logan was clutching the files in his hand, placing them over his nervous heart. All he was able to see from his spot were the legs of Drake's desk chair and the wall behind it. However, soon enough, Drake's black dress shoes and the bottom of his black pants. Logan's eyes widened at the proximity, and his wolf was dying to make himself noticed and rip out Drake's throat for what he had done to Eva. Drake, on the other hand, was fumbling with the papers on his desk, looking for a folder he forgot to take with him. The business trip he was going to will be of no use without those papers. Logan shut his eyes and clenched his fists, trying to control his wolf from confronting Drake and killing him right on the spot. He couldn't do that, though. His actions might lead to problems that he didn't want to put his pack through, and definitely not Eva. Drake found the yellow paper folder he was looking for. A smile of relief grazed his lips. He held it between his fingers and started making his way towards the door. Logan sighed in relief that Drake didn't seem to notice his presence. His posture relaxed and slowly came forward to come out from under the desk. He, however, stopped dead in his tracks, probed on all four limbs and his face poking from under the wooden object. His eyes never left the back of a very dense Drake. Drake was standing in the middle of his office room, his body tense for some reason and his wolf alert. Something wasn't right. He looked to his side at the drawer cabinet and marched toward it. He opened the cupboard doors, revealing the set of drawers. He checked them for anything different but found nothing, much to Logan's relief. However, Drake's eyes snapped to the wall that hid the Gumhiho file. Logan tensed and his eyes widened as Drake started making his way towards it. Logan has to get the files to the king before Drake would notice their disappearance. The plan has to work properly. Drake stood in front of the wall and behind the chair. He turned around and his hand started reaching for the armchair that would reveal the safe. Logan pressed his body further into the wooden desk, hoping that Drake wouldn't see him. He slowed down his breathing to a minimum and barely produced any sound. Suddenly, and before Drake's hand reached the armchair, the office door opened and a man came in. "We have to go, Alpha. The plane is leaving soon. We won't make it," the man said frantically. Drake nodded. "I'm coming," he replied with a sigh, and followed him out the door. Logan, for the second time, sighed in relief, but didn't attempt to come out until he was sure that Drake wasn't inside anymore. He quickly crawled from under the desk and practically ran to the window. His feet touched the tree branch and then he jumped, gracefully landing on the ground. He saw his father waving frantically at him, motioning for him to follow them as they ran out of Drake's territory. He was finally out. Logan's POV. "What the hell were you thinking?" my father yelled at me as we reached our territory. "I couldn't just leave without proof, Dad. I just want to put that guy away once and for all, so Eva will be at ease," I fought back. "He could have found you. What were you going to do then? Didn't you think what we would do without you? What would Eva do without you?" he yelled as he held his hands up in the air. His words silenced me as I thought of it. I can't put Eva through that. It'll be unfair for both me and her, especially since she started to open up more to us. Her confidence was making an appearance, and I liked that. I sighed deeply. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. "Let's just go. Your mother must be worried." We made our way to the pack house, and I was more than eager to go see Eva again. My wolf was jumping up and down, and a goofy grin was making its way to my face. Just the thought of her made us happy. We opened the door to be met with a series of laughter and giggles coming from the living room. A certain laugh made my heart skip about a dozen beats. My mom, Eva, Alexis, and Chloe were sprawled on the couch watching Friends. The couch isn't big enough for all four of them, but they managed to squeeze themselves on it. I went to Eva's side and swiftly picked her up, princess style. She gasped lightly at the sudden action, but her face broke into a smile when she locked gazes with me. "I'm back," I told her with a grin. She giggled softly. I can see that. Her melodic voice was driving me crazy, and I couldn't help but fall for her more and more. "Aren't you going to tell me where you were?" she asked, with hope in her eyes. I gave her a small, uncertain smile. "Do I really have to?" I asked her wearily. She nodded her head, making me sigh. She does have the right to know. I just hope she doesn't get mad at me. "Let's talk upstairs." With Eva still in my arms, I started making my way up to our room. The fact that Eva didn't attempt to ask me to put her down made me very content with myself. We reached our room, and I gently placed Eva on the bed. I tucked a strand of hair behind her ear, making her blush. "So tell me," she said eagerly. I sighed. I went to bring evidence against Drake." Eva gasped as her eyes widened. "Why would you do that? You could have gotten hurt," she scolded, worry lacing every word. I smiled lightly that she was actually worried about me. I pulled her towards me as I wrapped my arms around her. "It's okay. I'm fine, and I'm back now, right?" I cooed as I ran my fingers through her hair. "You don't know what he's capable of. You could have... She didn't complete her sentence as I felt my shirt dampen from her tears. "I'm okay, baby girl, I swear. He didn't even know I was there," I said, trying to ensure her that I was perfectly fine. She pulled away from my embrace, her face turning into a scowl. "You're an idiot." I chuckled at her words. "I know, I'm sorry." I pulled her again to a hug, and she didn't hesitate in wrapping her arms around my torso. We stayed there for a couple of minutes before Eva pulled away again, making me cold. Logan," she called uncertainly. "Yeah?" I'll ask you something. If you don't want, then that's fine. I won't mind, I swear. You don't even have to." I cut in her rant with a small chuckle. She looked very nervous. "Eva, you can ask me whatever you want," I assured her. She took another deep breath and closed her eyes. Eva's point of view. "I was trying to ask him if we could go on a date. I've never been on one before, and I don't know if Logan will even like the idea. He might think that it's too much of a hassle or that he'd be embarrassed seen in public with me. I'm not really a sight to be seen with." I weighed my chances and just decided to go for it. I know it'll hurt me if he didn't agree, but I have to still try and give him a chance. I took a deep breath, and I closed my eyes so that I don't see his reaction. "Can we go on a date tomorrow?" I asked in one go. I kept my eyes shut until I heard him chuckle. I slowly opened my eyes as his chuckles turned to deep laughter. "I knew it. He thinks it's a stupid idea. I shouldn't have asked him. Now it'll just be awkward." You want to go on a date?" he asked between laughs. No, I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking. Just forget I even said anything," I replied, shaking my head and waving my hand in front of my face. His laughing died down and was replaced with a wide grin, showing his pearly teeth. "I'd love to go on a date with you, Eva. Are you kidding me? That would be awesome!" he exclaimed excitedly. I was taken aback by his reply. I didn't think that he would love the idea so much. Looks like I still have a lot of things to learn about mates. "Okay, first things first. We have to decide on the place and time." "No, don't. I'll think about that. It'll be a surprise. You have to decide on what you'll wear, even though you'll look beautiful in anything." I couldn't suppress the giggles that escaped my lips at his excitement. His face was lit up like a child who just received some candy. "I'd really love to go ice skating, you know," I said, cutting him off. "Ice skating?" he asked with a raised eyebrow. I nodded. "Ever since I was a kid, I've always wanted to go ice skating," I stated. Logan furrowed his eyebrows and rubbed his index finger over his chin, an indication that he was thinking. His face lit up and a grin was plastered on his face. I'll have the best surprise for our date. You'll be amazed, he yelled as he ran outside the room. And that's, ladies and gentlemen, how you know what to wear for your date. We were definitely going ice skating. I was having my own little happy dance when the door opened and in stepped Logan with his hands on his hips and a scowl on his face. You did that on purpose, didn't you? He asked. Did what? I faked innocence. He just shook his head and left the room as he muttered, unbelievable, under his breath.